then we should be ready to go.
Next to us, supposedly, so August, that fell through. She had it up there. One tree doors up there. Everything about we have a I gotta share this with you. We got a message from so about 5 minutes on the other side. You said it. No. We're passing. This is very fishy. I mean, who gives it? The asking was 250. Somebody said, so we'll offer above asking margin. And put down the down. And they want us to finance it. Yeah. This is we're not. You guys work correct. I'm catching up. Okay. So this is my office. Correct. Right there. Sure.
Evan, are you ready for?
I gotta see. I don't know how you'll normally do it.
So, just greetings, hello, welcome to everybody. I think most of you have been here before, if not here at our other locations. My name is Isaac Morrison. I'm the current president of the Harwood Community Association. We'll probably have a few people trickling in. It's not a big deal. Two things to bring to your attention. We are being streamed live, so if you don't want to be on screen, the camera is right now pointing at me. Just don't stand on this side of the camera. The second thing, we are going to try to respect time, so Mike is going to be our timekeeper for the evening. He is going to try to hold us to this because in recent meetings we've been running past 8 o'clock and we want to respect people's time. We say 6:30 to 8, and I understand if people are forgiving about us starting a little late, but running a little late is different. Everybody has lives, everybody has things they got to do. So we are going to try to adhere to Mike's timekeeping. There's always flexibility, but on that note, I'm going to hand it over
All right.
to our icebreaker.
All right. My name is Evan. I'm a board member. I'm off of the 300 block of 28th Street. And as just a little quick, hey, what's up? It's just a little quick icebreaker. As just a quick little riddle. If you take an odd number, all right, take away one letter, it turns it even. What is that number? I'm gonna let y'all ponder that. And then if you guys know, come up to me, introduce yourself, shake my hand, and let me know if you got the answer right.
Oh, we should have had a prize.
We should have.
Ah.
Extra Oreos.
There are stickers also. For those that want them, stickers, both oval and rectangular. We have two featured guests who are not here yet. Mara said she's just a couple minutes away, and Mary Washington said she'll be here, but is not. Are you?
I'll always let the police go first because they can get called out at any time.
Okay,
and they'll leave it
sure.
right
Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Sergeant Olivo. I'm your supervisor for the community liaison for the Northern District. Reference to your community, I have a monthly stats. So regarding to Harwood community, the past 28 days, from September 7th to October 4th, no homicide compared to last year. No shooting. Last year you have one. This year you have none. No rape. You have 3 robberies. One of those 3 robberies is one location. 2 persons were robbed at the same location. And the other one is commercial. Compared to last year, there was only 1. You don't have any aggravator, so this year, from this 28 day, last year you have 4, which is down. Burglary, you don't have none for the past 28 days. Last year, you have 1. Larceny, you have 4 compared to 5 last year. One of them was domestic related, and 2 of those larceny were larceny from auto and 1 regular larceny, which the person left her bag in the store and the bag was missing, was taken. In auto theft, you have 1 and 1 attend. So compared for total part 1 crime, you have 9 compared to 15 last year. That's 40% down. Violent crime, you have 3 compared to 6 last year. That's 50% down. And property crime is 6 compared to 9. That's 33% down. Recently, we had a community walk within your community. A couple of blocks we did, and there was a couple of problems that were addressed. And we were surprised, honestly. The street was clean. You know, the street's always dirty. There's always trash and everything, but you know, honestly, it was really clean that day. The DPW came through and cleaned it up. So anybody has any concern within the community, and also I know there's a lot of concern about 2500 block of Greenmount. We have made several arrests, including one of them that was involved because of individuals selling drugs in there. So beside the 2500 block and the 2600 block of, 26th Street and 2500 block of Greenmount. Any other concern beside those 2 streets? Anything?
Only thing I'll mention is it's been really good for a while, but we're starting to get a wave of porch pirates. People stealing Amazon packages. I've heard a lot of those incidents. So just keep your eyes open. I think they may even be following the delivery trucks because they're hitting them like 5 minutes right after.
Regarding to that, you know, now is the holidays. So if you're delivering anything, if you're buying anything online, just go to one of those places that they have a box and they can hold it for you there. You know, if you're not gonna have anybody at your house, or if you're expecting the delivery, always check your phone or your emails and make sure that you know that your package is there.
Also,
I think you just change it, the instructions in Amazon, tell them to call you. And they'll call you and you could just go get it.
they won't do that all the time though. But also in addition to the porch pirate thing, I actually called 911 for a porch pirate that was in progress. After a neighbor confronted them, they basically just like ignored the neighbor and just took someone else's stuff. And what I was told was that you can't actually report it unless it's your own stuff being taken. And that's what the person online on the phone told me, so.
If they tell you that, you know, how can that person prove that that's that person package? You understand? Always, if you know that that's your neighbor, say Mr. John, this particular person, their package is getting stolen. You the witness, you call, you get a hold of Mr. John later on, hey, or at least the officer will come and identify the person who's taking the package. Because if that person is a package thief, he's not gonna take it, he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave the package.
Well, yeah, I guess the thing is that they didn't actually have anyone come out. They basically said that, like, give our number to your neighbors and then they'll call and
No,
report
sir,
it.
then what you gotta do is call back 911 and ask for a supervisor. You want to
Okay.
make a supervisor complaint, okay? So, go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just, curious, I don't wanna derail the our conversation, we'll get back to that, but, you mentioned the 40 to 50% like reductions in crime as compared to your, I guess it's a trend that you're noticing, or is this just
So-
kind of random?
Basically, every community is different. Some communities gonna have the crime going up, and some communities gonna have it going down. So, it could be, hey, the police present, or one particular person who committing all the crime within that community, that person has been arrested. You know, that could be one of the, you know, but in majority of the community, we do have crime going down within our district. You know, so another thing I want to bring up is the 25th, we have a prescription take back. So right now I have, I believe, 3 locations so far. If you wish to participate within this community and would like to give me as soon as possible a location that you could have this place, and then we're gonna have one of our officers stand by with one of the community member, you know, collecting prescription. So that's gonna be the 25th of October, between the hours of 10 to 2 o'clock. So one of the location, the 3 location we have so far, one is gonna be Cold Spring in Pike Heights, with the parking lot of the old Rite Aid. Another one is gonna be at Walter P. Carter, 820 East 43rd Street. And the other one is gonna be in the parking lot, 5315 York Road. So if you have any location within the community you wanna set up, please let me know before the end of the week. And on the 31st for Halloween, we're gonna have a haunted highway at our district, a safe place for the kids to come up and pick up candies. You know, we're also gonna do a trunk or treat at the parking lot too. So Officer McBride, she has flyer. She's the architect of this whole event regarding to the Halloween. So, all right, cool. Have a good night, folks, and enjoy the rest of your week and stay safe, please. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So we have a couple folks, Mara from NDC, we also have Shiketa from Department of Transportation. Before we get started, one other thing I do want to mention, finances. Now that we are back here, when we were at Peabody Heights and when we were at the Village Learning Place, they let us use those spaces rent-free. This place does charge rent, and we do want to make sure we can pay it. So please, if you're not up on your dues, pay your dues. Dues payment link can be found on the website, or you can, I don't have the QR code with me, but just go to the website or contact me directly. It's pretty easy to find on the website though, big button. It's also, there's a dues paying link on all the emails we send out now at the bottom mentioning dues, which are $10 per household per year, very reasonable. And you can pay more. So, Shiketa, are you able to go now?
Yep. Good evening, everyone. Oh, this is very weird. Okay, I'm looking at myself in the box and trying to look at the room. Okay, if I go cross-eyed, don't blame me. So I'm Shiketa Wallace from the Department of Transportation, the liaison for this area. This is Mr. Sean Burnett. He's going to he's going to go right after me in a moment. So we have gotten information. So the 5 bump outs that will be completed this year before December will be located at 29th and Guilford, 28th and Guilford, 28th and Barclay, 25th in Guilford and 25th in Barclay. And then, so each one has to be specially designed. We've received a lot of requests from y'all, so we haven't had time to finish designing them yet. I'm sorry that I did not have a projector or this image with me earlier, but it's already been given. It will be sent out. You gonna show it to them? Yes, please. All right, so it's coming around. And for the live stream, I told you this was gonna be interesting.
That should be good.
This should be good, you got it?
It's on the recording.
Perfect, okay. And then he's sending around a version of it. So when we took the walk, a lot of neighbors were interested in what we could do with bump outs to make them more visible and exciting. So with the bump outs, they will feature the new Continental crosswalk. So instead of it being the slash diagonally to the side, it will be straight, and there'll also be stop bars, and there will also be flex posts in each bump out. And then I'll turn it over.
Hi, everyone. So Shaquetta told me, and apologies if this is not exactly what everyone's looking for. Initially, I was told that we were looking for more information on the placemaking program. Is that correct? So there's a process in Baltimore City called minor privilege. I'm going to start by giving a little bit of history about the program, and then I'll tell you what we do with it. Minor privilege is a process by which private property owners, commercial businesses can make alterations in the public right-of-way, that is city-owned property, to the sole benefit of their business or commercial enterprise. What that didn't reflect was the interest of communities in doing things like placemaking. That would be benches, street furniture, art, things that doesn't serve a strict commercial purpose, but would still require utilization of the public right-of-way. So that's what the placemaking process is. We run that through the Office of Planning at DOT. A couple of examples of projects that we have done. Some of the things like the 26th Street Green, that was a placemaking process a couple of years ago. If you're interested, if the community has an idea for certain things, areas of the city, you know, in the right-of-way, sidewalks that they'd like to beautify, you'd like to put a bench up, any of those items, you can go to the city's website, you can Google Baltimore City placemaking, and it will send you directly to the application page. You can submit your application, we review it internally, and we communicate with you about, you know, if there's any changes that need to be made, and then we sign an agreement between you and the city stating that, you know, you're responsible for the maintenance of it, but then we will allow you to construct it. What placemaking is not is traffic calming. So things like speed bumps, bump outs, these sorts of items are not placemaking. If you have a certain issue, if you're identifying a place in your community where you'd like to see some more traffic calming, the best way to do that is to put that through the 311 app. We analyze each and every one of the submissions through 311 to decide warrant, to decide resources, the best allocation of those resources, and then we end up working with Shaquetta and some other teams to make sure that those are constructed. Are there any questions? Yes.
So first I just wanted to say I'm really excited that you guys are doing the bump outs and the sort of traffic calming efforts in those intersections. They've been really big problems with people just like speeding right through. I am wondering if there are any other options besides like the flex posts, like anything a little sturdier, because I do notice like on St. Paul where there are a couple of bump outs and the flex posts, like some of the flex posts are like flat that people just like drive right over them. So I'm wondering if something like a big, you know, like a concrete planter or like something a little sturdier that like will damage your car if you just hit it, you know, is a
I have an adjacent idea that we have been working with. Folks from Old Goucher have about a dozen concrete planters that they have said we can have. I was gonna mention this later in the meeting. We can talk to you guys about placemaking, something that will make these areas look more substantial, look more permanent. But these are like the big planters. Like if you go down to the 23rd Street Park on Calvert, it's the ones that are around that. And we're gonna take them. We'll need some help. We'll need some people who have vehicles. We will need some strong backs to get them onto the vehicles, pickup trucks or other equipment. We'll talk.
You might get a forklift.
We might. We'll probably need a skid steer or a forklift, something like that. Some of them are pretty big. There's two sizes. But we can do that, and then we can also paint them. We don't have official Harwood colors, I guess, maybe. But anyway, yes, that is an option that we will be pursuing. And we'll be in communication with the city as we're not just gonna put them in the bump outs.
Of course not. So I'd like to address kind of maybe that and then that. The reason that we utilize a lot of the quick build materials, that's what we call the flex posts, is two big things. One is the review process and the engineering behind it. To do curb and these other things, it requires us to do a lot of work with drainage and a lot of different stuff. And so to that effect, the quick build ones, we can build 20 for the cost that it would be to build curb. So that's the big one, is just volume of impact. If you see down flex posts, you see an area where they've been run over, they've been mutilated by vehicles, report that. Put that in the 311 app. We have a stock of these things for a reason. We go out and we replace them very frequently. The placemaking as it pertains to installing the planters. I know we've seen a lot of examples of like planters utilized as traffic calming or sometimes within traffic calming. It's a little more complicated than going through the placemaking process, because if you're trying to install them in already existing traffic calming, sometimes with the quick builds, part of the reason why we have them as quick builds is also because emergency vehicles need a wider turning radius in order to make some of those side streets. If you were to put a planter there, it would mean that the fire trucks and some of the other larger vehicles would not be able to make that turn. So there is a review process that's separate from the placemaking process. So I would encourage you, if you have those sorts of things and your intention would be, or your desire is to have them placed within existing traffic calming infrastructure, you reach out just like directly to me and we can have a conversation with traffic.
We're not just gonna put them out there.
Well, I know that, but it's just, the placemaking is just not the appropriate vehicle, because it's a little more convoluted. We'd also need, we'd need a higher level of maintenance agreement, especially if they're, you're gonna put flowers in them. I don't wanna call 6 months from now, somebody saying, hey, all your flowers are dead. Where are my flowers? I don't water flowers. But yeah, so that's that. But absolutely, we'd love to work with you.
Yeah, I'll be in touch. Cool. It's just exciting because we're getting a whole bunch of big planters for free.
That's great.
Except
I love free
cost
stuff.
to move them.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Mara?
Sure, I can go up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I talk into the camera for the virtual recording.
Do what you can.
Oh, you're good. It's not gonna be perfect, but.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Mara. I am a neighbor. Live on 28th and Guilford, but I'm also a staff member, project coordinator at the Neighborhood Design Center, which is a local community design nonprofit. And the Harwood board reached out several months ago to say, hey, we have this really, this great potential for a park in our neighborhood adjacent to the Harwood Garden on 27th and Greenmount, and it needs a little bit of love. It's a little outdated. And so we have been working with a team of landscape architects and neighbors to understand priorities for how to update and improve that park. And I'm here today to just share a quick update of where we are. And we have done one round of initial surveys. 57 folks took it. I also tabled at our block party had about 15 conversations, and then canvassed with a garden volunteer on the blocks immediate to the park, just to ask, how to use the park, what updates would you like to see? And so I have a summary here that's like a summary of that feedback. I also have a printout that I can hand out or you can take with you home. I have some example photos from that update. And then these are 2 designs that the designers made that are like 2 different versions. One's a little higher budget, a little fancier, which is very pretty. So I will quickly talk through those, but obviously, this is a tiny screen, this is a big room. So what I would like to do is send out these designs digitally, like via email and post it and have folks comment on it afterwards, so we can really get a chance to look at it. Because what I'm gonna do then, this is a Rec and Parks park. So Baltimore City Recreation and Parks manages this park. And we've been talking to them about updates. They recently replaced the baby swings. They recently put a new fence around the area. Has everybody seen the concrete pit that's there, where it kind of sinks in, right? So they know we need some updates, and they are open to replacing the concrete with something better, right? So we have this great opportunity to replace the concrete with something better. And so we're really asking folks, what do you want to see? And so this idea, I know you can't really see it, is replacing the concrete area with more greenery, a nice pathway, a nicer entrance from Greenmount Ave, and potentially extending the community garden that's there on right on Greenmount, and adding a few additional planter beds or in soil, kind of what you see here in the yellow are in soil garden beds, and here would be an arrangement of planter beds. And we would certainly work with the neighborhood to understand what's the best design, what's the best amount. And that would be an MOU with Rec and Parks to say we're responsible for maintaining the garden. They're responsible for things like cutting the lawn, basic maintenance. But they are putting more grass down, which is exciting because right now it's a lot of concrete. And there's some, another thing that came up in the feedback was more shade and more seating, right? Just make it a friendlier space and deal with the trash better, right? A better, nicely designed trash receptacle, because everybody has to put their trash in the front because of the small alleys and the trash gets everywhere. So what you see here and what you'll see when I send this out are examples of like shade pavilions in the back of the park where it's really sunny, additional tree plantings, updated play equipment, and like a kind of social gathering space here, because we've certainly used it for community events, community meetings. We want to build on that and have, maybe some shade, some more picnic tables, a nice patio, make it nice, make it a place that people know about and want to go to, right? It's a little hidden, but it's our Harwood Park, and we should really use it more. There are other smaller parks around the area, but this one we really want to take pride in and improve. So this is just showing different examples of organizing the playground equipment a little differently, adding some social gathering space, trees and greenery, seating and shading. And same with over here, it's just a little bit more of a simple layout. I'm gonna stop there, right, because time. Any questions? And again, I would love to actually send these out so you can look at it. I'll also leave it here so you can look at it at the end of the meeting. And then this printout is at 8.5 by 11 on that table if you want to see exactly what people said on the survey. But any questions? I see 2 hands. I'm going to go here first.
What is the general timeline for getting this completed?
There is no timeline. Try. Good question. So Neighborhood Design Center does conceptual designs. So we have, it still takes a lot of input to think of these designs. And then the next step is to fundraise, prioritize, phase it out, fundraise, and get contracts, get bids, work with Parks and Rec, and do that implementation timeline. But usually these projects take several years. Yeah, good question. And in the back.
Of the conversations you're having, are you talking to the kids who use the park too?
I haven't formally, but if you have a good idea of like when they're there and like when to talk to them, I would love to say, hey, what do you actually use in the park now? Because I see kids using the play equipment like kind of, sort of in the back. But when I walk through the park, I see mostly people walking their dogs through it, or people just like trying to hang out, but they can't because there's nowhere to sit. And like occasionally somebody is using a swing. So the swings seem popular. But yeah, do you want to add anything more to that? Like, have you observed kids using it in a particular way?
I only ever like see kids there, like when I'm running past like 3 or 4 or 5. I don't,
Yeah.
really don't know other
Yeah.
times.
Do you think they're on, do you see them on the play equipment?
So the kids are there
Yeah, no.
every day come 5 o'clock.
Every day come 5 o'clock,
Every
and
single
you
day.
know, because
Yeah,
you live
I
next to
right
the
there in
park.
my backyard.
Yeah, they're
Like,
there at 5
once
o'clock.
it hit 5 o'clock, it's like 20 kids in there.
During the school year?
Right now, on
Right
our
now?
way here, they were there.
Yeah. I think that means we could do some observations at 5 o'clock and say, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. Any other ideas about like who to talk to? Or what
I
we should be
have a
missing?
question. Are you gonna have,
Huh?
are you gonna have night lighting? Like
That
some
did
kinda
come
like
up. Yeah, that
mood
came up in the
lighting,
survey.
So it's not just like dark?
Yes, yeah, there's like one spotlight, so like better lighting at night definitely
Yeah.
came up as a priority. And what you want to say?
I was gonna suggest maybe putting up a flyer that says it's not stranger danger, we're going to be watching the kids for you.
I know.
And we'd like to talk to them, please contact us,
Yeah.
or this is our number, please go call police on us, thank you, just say.
Yeah, and other folks have said like just put a flyer in the park with little QR codes of the survey, so if folks are walking through in the moment, they can like, look at the ideas and give some input. But thank you for that. Yeah. Yes.
And you were saying something about the concrete that's there, that's
The
sinking
sunken
in,
concrete, yeah.
you know, because I've been walking through there for over a half a century now.
Yeah, my understanding is they were, old homes, and potentially that's a basement or something that got concreted over, and so the ideal is to like fill it and fix it and have it actually be firm. But you'll notice that like here in this design, the concrete pit is like right here. The designers kind of left it open. I think we're a little nervous to put something weight-bearing on it. So it's a little safer to have it be an open green space. Question. Anything?
I hope it don't become a sinkhole.
I know. We're using that as an opportunity to update this park and bring some more things to it, like more greenery and more shade and more seating and better issues with trash. And one more, Ainsley, was that a?
Yeah,
Okay.
no. Is it possible to get like a chessboard?
Yeah,
Like,
there are in this design and this design, and you'll
Oh.
see here there's like a game table
Right,
section,
perfect.
Yeah, for folks, seniors who want to just like hang out. The goal is to bring people to the space because it's a little hidden. People don't know what's there. Bring people to the space for sure. Yes,
Would public restroom be a possibility, or is that a little
Um,
overly ambitious?
it's pretty ambitious. Yeah, pretty ambitious. Okay, thanks everyone. I'm here. You can always talk to me one-on-one.
Thank you, Mara. Mary Washington is not here, unfortunately, but Odette is here. If Odette wants to say a couple words before she comes up, though, I do want to just run down a couple announcements, general announcements, upcoming events. The big one is the October 25th Mayor's Day of Service / Charm City Cleanup Day. Harwood Community Association is participating. We will have a table at the community garden park, and we'll probably try to target like a couple specific areas. It's all gonna depend on how many people show up, but we will have trash pickers, we will have gloves, we will have bags, we will have a central location where people can just show up and say, hey, what needs to be done? Izzy over there is spearheading that. So keep that in mind. That is gonna be the 25th of October from 8 a.m. to noon. Big day, lots of fun. We'll try to make it fun. There are alleys that people have requested attention to. We'll try to make sure we get to those. We did an alley cleaning 2 weekends ago, and it was fantastic. The turnout was great, and we rocked it. It was a really good event, and a lot of people that don't necessarily make it out to these events made it out to that event. So it was a good showing. The other thing, dumpster day, our final dumpster day of the year is coming up tentatively. Tentatively, we haven't made a formal announcement, tentatively November 8th. That's the date we've asked for. We're just waiting for confirmation, but we do get one more dumpster day. Other than that, are there any other announcements? Anybody wants to flag upcoming events? More.
I have something related, yeah. If you live, again, you live on 28th, the 300 block of 28th, Ilchester, or Guilford, my like I do, 28th and Guilford, we are taking back on this and having a mini alley cleaning party on Sunday in collaboration with Mosi Bread. Mosi is working on Saturday with Maya and Russell, so we're doing it on Sunday. And we're calling it like a big cleanup weekend. So we'll have pizza, meet your neighbors. If you live on the 300 block, 28 Ilchester or Guilford, please join us at 10 o'clock. You can pick up a flyer from the table. So
Perfect.
you don't have to do that
Thank
alley
you.
on Saturday.
Yes. So, yeah, 2 days of outstanding cleaning activities. Also, do keep in mind, we will make sure that the minutes for this meeting are shared. We send those out with the follow-up email about a week after the meetings. So any events we've listed, any activities, we'll try to make sure we get all of the posters that have not been adequately shown on the screen displayed as well. On that note, I'm going to hand it to Odette for a minute.
Sure.
Odette?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. How are you? Sorry to have walked in a little late. I know I missed the main attraction, which was DOT. So, but I caught Sean in the back. So I hope that I really appreciate DOT jumping on that work pretty quickly, and we're fine. Did you all see the speed camera? Did you all see the really cool speed camera that we just got? I love it. No, I was so happy to see it. I did my video, my 90 seconds video in front of the mural, and I was like, oh my God, there's a speed camera there. So I really appreciate DOT spending a lot of time with us. I think that the bump outs are going to be great. So, and then we'll, take it to the next step. So slow progress, but it's really good. So I'm really happy about that. Some of you may know I was in the community with BPD, and they may have talked about this on 26th and Barclay on Wednesday, and we looked at some of the challenges that some of the neighbors have been talking about there on that alley and that park, and then we went across the street to the 500 block of
26th.
Yeah, it was 500 block of 26th Street, and they inspected that house today, so hopefully it's coming down. So we're going to follow up on those. There was some conversation around closing 26th Street Park because of some of the activity there, and I think we just have to have a larger discussion about if that's the solution to the activity going on there. It's not always used by young people because it's taken over by people that are doing other things. So closing it would mean taking out all the stuff that's in there and locking that gate. And I don't know what else we would put in there, right? So you don't have to answer today. Think about it. We can plan for a time on the agenda to have a larger discussion, maybe seek some help from our NDC friends. But I understand what was happening there. I saw it and I see it whenever I'm in the community. So it's something to think about. I do remember when it was installed several years ago. I think some members of the community will remember the 26ers Park. So it's just something to think about if that's something that's going to help us with continuing to keep our the neighborhood safe. On the 500 block, there's some vacant properties there, and so there's one in particular that has burned several times, and I've asked for that to come down, and that will make a big difference, I think, there. I'm not a big fan of demolition, but that one needs to be demolished. I think those are like some of the main things in the neighborhood. I'm so glad that this is open for us again. Isn't this exciting? And they're looking at doing a lot more programming, and it's very exciting. So yeah, I love this space. I'm really glad that we can come back into the space. Any questions on anything happening that you're seeing, or? Okay. I have another bill coming in the next that I'll talk about the next meeting, but it's to strengthen the rental licensing laws so that our residents who are renters are going to be able to live in better conditions, and that we're holding the landlords more accountable. It just puts more teeth into the law. Right now, there's only 1/3 of our rental properties that are actually licensed, and that's because people are doing it intentionally because they're only getting a fine and not anything else. So we're going to be doing a lot more there, which will be very, very good. And I continue to work on all of our vacant properties. I am scheduling a housing walk for me and my staff and anybody who wants to come with us, because I do surveys in my district of the housing, mostly just to figure out what's really vacant and what's not, because everything that's empty isn't actually considered vacant. And so I want to know more about that. I believe it's going to be at the end of October, so I'll let you know if somebody wants to come out with us. It'll be in one morning just to go through, because I've done the rest of the district, but this is the new part of my district. So taking the data that we have and then like really seeing what's going on. So that's always fun. Hopefully you all got my newsletter in your mailbox. Okay, good. Good, yeah, that's great. I usually hand deliver it. I couldn't do that this summer, but hopefully you got it, and hopefully that provides you with a lot more resources, especially as we're dealing with federal level stuff. We've got a lot of resources there for you. Anything else? Yes, sir.
What's the difference between empty and vacant?
Excellent question. So, so vacant, right, in just the normal everyday vernacular means it's, you know, not occupied. But in Baltimore City, a property that is uninhabited and falling down, okay, not falling down, but is starting to look like it's not inhabitable, that will get what's called a vacant building notice. And all of the properties that have a vacant building notice is what we're counting. So when the mayor says we've got 12,468 as of today vacant and abandoned properties, that's what he means, okay? Then there are others that are just sitting there, that somebody may have died and the family's not doing anything with it, or it's somebody's intending to do something with it if it hasn't, or it's a foreclosure of some sort, which takes a lot more court time. Those are just unoccupied. And so to me though, that those are our pre-vacants. Those are the ones that are about to start to fall apart to then become vacant, right? So I want to know what that, because they're not always marked properly, these pre-vacants. So that's one of the reasons to do the walk in the neighborhood, is to figure out where those are and either contact the family to see what they're doing, or add them to a new class that I'm creating through another piece of legislation, so that we can actually see what those pre-vacants are and be able to take some action on them and plan it accordingly.
Right now, there's no mechanism for a property that's what other.
I mean, if you call, let's say that there's a property that's empty and you see that the porch is starting to deteriorate, you can call 311 and it would be an exterior notice. It wouldn't be a vacant notice, right? But the more you call 311 on those kinds of things, then that does make the case. We're also looking at, you know, if they're paying the taxes, if they're paying the water bill, all of those. But getting that accurate count of really what's empty and unoccupied helps us with taking action, because anything that has that vacant building notice on it, we can take legal action, whether we do the in-rem foreclosure or receivership or whatever. But if it doesn't have it on there, we can't take any action. So I'd rather be able to count what it is and then include it in this new class, so that we can, you know, figure out the best way to plan ahead. And then there's the definition that the census uses. The census uses vacant, and that's just anything that's empty. So it could be one of the vacant properties, the vacant and abandoned. It could be those that are just sitting there. It could also be something that at the time the census was taken was like waiting for a renter or a homeowner to move in, or was like for sale. So we don't ever use the census definition of vacant, because it doesn't really depict what we are counting. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a HUD house next door to me that's vacant.
Okay.
Now, what heading does that comes up?
I have to take a look at it and see. What's the address?
345 East 27th Street.
3485?
345 East 27th Street.
Okay.
And
I have to take a look at it.
And the issue is that it's going to get cold now.
Yeah.
And they have a garage that whoever owned the HUD, they closed it up, but they still have this gap in there. Somebody can come in
Right.
and do whatever they want to do.
Right.
Which means potentially in the winter, build a fire to stay warm.
Well, that's right.
which
We
is-
do have an
I've
issue.
reported this specific property before.
Okay.
But there's a fence, so they can't go up to the door
Okay.
to seal it.
Well, they would come into my yard, go over the walls that high, you know.
Uh-huh.
And, but, I asked my neighbor on the other side, do you hear, I hear things over there. I don't know whether it's rodents or whatever. And I come out there any time of day or night.
Right.
I go up there with my flashlight and I'm looking over.
So I don't know if you all know this great tool that's online. It's called Code Map. Are you all familiar with this? So this is a website that DHCD, the Department of Housing and Community Development, put together. I'm going onto it now. And it's super handy. And if you're a visual person like me, you can put in an address and it'll show you what's happening in that area as well. So maybe one day we'll do like a mini training or something that I can be prepared for, because they have all this fancy stuff here now that we can do that. 3, 4, 8, 27. 3:45?
Yeah. Yeah, I've
I think we talked about this one.
yeah, Lou's brought it up. I've put in 311 calls. Yeah. So there's already a paper trail related to this.
Okay, it has a vacant building notice on it, okay, already. But that doesn't mean we can't take action on it. We've got to keep calling and make sure, since it does have a vacant building notice on it, that it's secured. So we can have the DPW take a look at, or DHCD take a look at it to make sure it's secured. And then I'll check in, it's not on this public record, but I can tell how much the taxes are, because if the taxes are high, then the city will foreclose on it, so, okay? And that way we can, get it to somebody who's gonna do something with it. And the way on Code Map you can tell if there's a vacant building notice is it's got a bright red square, which is different than the bright red fire department square. I know, it's crazy. The fire department square that they put on the vacant properties is just the fire department saying, we think this house is unsafe. That's all it says. It's different than this list, which I'm dealing with. It's a big pain in mine. But anyway, so we could do a training on that just to see, but if you go on Code Map Baltimore, you'll see purple. Purple means homeowner. If you see the green, it's it's a city-owned property. Gray is unoccupied, non-owner occupied. Anyway, it's super helpful information. Code Map Baltimore, yes?
So, in regards to the 26th Street Park, you
Yeah.
mentioned that maybe might end up getting closed. I'm curious if there are any other potential kind of predetermined pathways, because I'm just imagining it's not going to be free for the city to come and close it and remove all the material. It's going to cost money.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there are other things to be done with that space, so it can still be a productive space that money could go towards and stuff.
Yep, that's all part of the conversation. So I don't know. Right now, I'm just looking at Code Map. It's actually only half of that. There's 2 lots. One of them is, yeah, I think you got it. Oh, you want it. So Chiquetta has this, thank you. So this is Code Map. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna come closer here. This is Code Map here.
We've got about a minute left.
So oh, really? So the bright red dot is your vacant building notice. The purple is your owner occupied. And then as you zoom out, there's more, oh, this is not a touch screen. It's okay. Anyway, it's super helpful. So we can probably do a training with some folks later. But anyway, so this park, it looks like it's 2 lots. One of them is city owned and one of them's not. Isn't that interesting? And so there might be some agreement either with the owner or nobody could, well, nope, I'm sure the owner has died given when the property was bought. So that's something that we'll deal with, because if we have to acquire it, that's fine. But that's all part of the conversation. I bring it up just to start thinking about it. We don't have to have that here. We can plan an intentional conversation later, but just to think about what might be, what might be something to put there instead, or however. But just so you know that only half of it is city owned, which we can fix that. I can get the other half. That's no problem. Jeff, sorry about that. Go ahead, real quick.
Yeah, just a question, when there is a vacant building notice, because I've seen some of them go back to like 2016, 2017, but it doesn't look like there's any, in the vacant building notices, it says that you can be up to $500 a day fine, but that there are no fines, and if you call in a vacant building request, they'll just delete it because it already has one from so essentially there's no.
It depends on a lot of different things. Like in some neighborhoods, they're really doing a lot of code enforcement, so they are doing the daily fines. If they are, this is a neighborhood that we haven't demanded in the past, I'm here now, we will be doing that, you know, to have DHCD pay attention and make sure that those fines are done, okay? And it's harder when there's not like high grass and weeds, right? Because we don't have those kinds of yards except for in the back, which you can still get high grass and weeds for. So the thing is that the way that DHCD works is that it's not, and it's $1,000. But what they do is instead of just automatically doing the $1,000, which I would want, they say they'll put the notice on and then they'll give you 30 days to cure the notice. If you don't cure the notice in 30 days, then they'll have to come back out, make sure you didn't cure the notice, and then issue another one. They have not been doing that consistently across the city. So it's a matter of us calling, you know, part of the reason to do this tour is to make sure I understand where all the vacant buildings are, what we have to add to it, and then, you know, continue to make sure that we get these through either receivership or in REM so that we can have possession of, because anything from like 2016 down is usually the taxes are really, you know, nobody's paying the taxes or the water bill. So that would be just something that we have to figure out. Yep. Cool, okay, thanks everybody. Sorry to take so long.
Couple more things on the agenda, not a lot of big stuff. The bylaws changes, which we had a good bit of discussion on at the last meeting. That meeting was really where we got a lot of the feedback and the guidance in terms of making sure the language was appropriate or correct. We have, if you go to our website, if you also, we sent out an email yesterday, you can check, you can comment on the 2 slates of bylaws. There's one amendment that's just a block of some items that need to be updated, corrected, very basic things, some of which we just haven't ever been in compliance with, like the idea that we should have to maintain our meetings within the boundaries of Harwood when there is in Harwood that's really appropriate for having a meeting of 30. So we always have the meetings just outside of Harwood. Just adjusting that language. There's a maximum of, it's just a bunch of things. We talked about this last time. I don't want to get too deeply into it, but our bylaws do require 30-day notice or a 1-month notice before we do a vote. The vote will be at the next meeting. If you do want to look at I printed out a few paper copies, but the bylaws are online. They're Google documents open to public comment. So you can add your comments, your questions. We'll keep an eye on it if you need something clarified. The Second Amendment has to do with leadership, board composition, things like that. Some things that we've learned over the last 3 years since post-COVID. Everybody just about on the board is new post-COVID, post-lockdown. We have kind of had to learn as we went, and so we've tried to make some adjustments to the leadership rulings, in part just things that would have been helpful for us in terms of onboarding, in terms of number of people that are allowed to be on the board. The bylaws state that we have 7 board members, which is the 4 officers plus 3 at large. And what we found is when people want to be involved, they become board members. And we've done really well having many more board members than that, but we've also had to come to the terms with the fact that as far as the bylaws are concerned, that is more board members than we're supposed to have. All of this has to be rectified now because we are a 501c3 and we are held to, I think, a higher standard, and we have to make sure that we hold ourselves to that higher standard as well. And so I have, like I said, I've got a couple copies of the 2 slates of amendments. We're just gonna do a yes/no vote. It'll be by ballot next month. We do have records of, dues payments. So again, pay your dues if you're up to date. And the vote will be not a big deal because we're doing a potluck with Abel. So lots of people hanging out. Those who are members in good standing will just be able to come by, fill out a ballot, drop it off, it'll be done. You do have to vote in person. We're not set up for online voting. We're not set up for proxy voting. You can't vote on behalf of somebody who is not here. You gotta be here. That's actually in the bylaws specifically. With all of that said, if you want to talk about the bylaws, we can chat here. We're going to have a little bit of extra time at the end of the meeting tonight. And there was a third amendment. We didn't really feel like we were reaching a point of resolution within the board in terms of the language, in terms of expectations. It wasn't something that was immediately pressing, so we figured we will deal with that next year. That has to do with whether or not non-residents can be voting members of the community association. The bylaws are explicit that they cannot, but we are open to changing that, adjusting that, finding ways that we can bring local business owners, other people that have a personal investment in the area, in the neighborhood, more into our composition and how we do things. But again, we couldn't quite find a common phrasing and language, and the priorities right now that are much more pressing are just making sure that the bylaws reflect our new boundaries, make sure they reflect our 501c3 status, make sure that they reflect the basic functional needs, just to get the organization moving at a steady progress. Because there are things that are more difficult than they need to be, and you guys who aren't board members don't need to worry about it, but a lot of what we're trying to do is trying to streamline and formalize some of these processes. On that note, I do also want to say we hold our elections for board members at our annual meeting, which is the big meeting, usually held in either December or January. This year it will be in January. If you're interested in being a board member, interested in participating more, talk to one of the board members here. And we go through a decent amount of attrition through the year. We start with 7, 8, 9 board members at large. People have commitments they want to make, but they also have other commitments in their lives, and things change. And so we'll start with the 4 officers plus 6, 7, 8 additional board members, and by the end of the year we're down to 5, which is, again, understandable. Everybody's got lives, but we always want to have new board members, and also it's a great way to find out whether this is something you can make a commitment to. We don't want people to worry that they can't commit, so come, try, do what you can, and if you can't, that's fine. We'd rather you try than you worry about whether it's too much of an obligation.
I just want to say, we had said we were going to identify the board members.
Oh, yes.
At the beginning of the meeting, and then we didn't. But if whoever's a board member wants to raise their hands, these are the people who, if you got questions and you want to bug a board member, this is us.
We actually had better retention this year than we did last year, so it's great. And the other thing is everybody brings what they can to the table. Some people, they're like, I can help with this, and this is what I can help with, and that's great. And that means we have somebody that we can rely on for one specific task or one specific piece of work consistently through the year, and that's been a tremendous help. Other than that, I think we got it. Are there any other announcements? Anything else? Anybody wants to?
Yeah, just a brief one. This is from somebody in the chat, Audrey. This is every month, but Book Thing is open this weekend, Sunday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for donations, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for browsing. So if you don't know what the Book Thing is, it's across from Peabody Heights Brewery, and once a month you can go in and take as many books as you'd like. They're all free. You just line up every hour on the hour, and you can also donate books if you're not reading them. So check it out. It's great. It's where I got all my books.
One other little thing, I sent a link in the WhatsApp group. If folks are in there, if you're not, I'm happy to send you the link separately. But Halloween is coming up, and I live on Whitridge, and I don't know if other folks living on side streets kind of have a similar experience, but often we don't get a ton of trick-or-treaters, because they stick to, you know, Guilford and like other big streets, and so I put together a Halloween Spotify playlist that I'm planning to play from my porch, so that it maybe draws kids to the area to know that there's candy there, and also so people are, you know, understand like it's, you know, a safe street. Things gonna happen, and so if anyone would like to contribute to the playlist, add songs, you're welcome to do that. The link is in the WhatsApp group, or I can send it to you separately, or if you want to play it from your own porch, or obviously more than on Halloween when trick-or-treaters are out, or any other time, you're more than welcome to do that too. So just wanted to shout that out.
Eddie?
I'm sorry, I was Eli Hansberry. Just want to give everyone a heads up. There was an incident about a month ago of there was a gentleman who assaulted a couple of people outside of one of our events. He also the same gentleman who assaulted someone outside of Demos and Ace Hardware. So we finally got word that they were charged, and so they are in jail now for the next 15 years. So
We had a lot of problems.
yeah,
Yes.
there was
It wasn't the only two incidents.
yeah, he was technically on probation after the second assault. So, they kind of took that into like, so, yeah, just to give context to that as well.
Thanks, Eddie. Aiden, and then Shekinah or something.
Hello, everybody. I'm Aiden. I live on the 400 block of East 28th. I just wanted to introduce/reintroduce myself. As of last month, I've been elected to the board of the Charles Village Civic Association. So speaking of boards, it's a different board. So the CVCA is a community association like Harwood. Even though it's called Charles Village, the CVCA includes Charles Village, Able, Harwood, Barclay, and Old Goucher. I believe I'm the only Harwood member on the board, so I'll be endeavoring to represent our interests on the board of this organization. So yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself in that role.
And sorry, on the speed camera note, starting October 1st, we have added graduated speed camera fees. So if you go 12 to 15 miles above, the penalty is $40. If you go 16 to 19 miles above, it's $70. If you go 20 to 29 miles above, it's $120. If you go 30 to 39 miles above, it's $230. And if you go 40 miles per hour or more above the speed limit, it is $425. And this is per incident.
What's the speed limit?
It depends on the street that you're on.
What is the collection rate on these fines, and where does
This
the money
has
go?
just begun on October 1st of this year, so
For example,
for
on 83, where the camera's been there for a while, are
I
people
am
paying these
unsure,
fines, or are
but-
they going, see ya?
I will get back to you with that answer, and I'll send it.
The problem is you don't know you're getting bagged until you get the thing in the mail. It's not like out of the road while the cop writes your ticket. So it's like painless tickets that comes in the mail, and I'm not.
After 3, they boot your car,
You can't get your license renewed if you don't pay it.
and
Okay,
there's a
yeah.
flag on your MVA as well,
All right.
if you don't pay it after
3
a while.
unpaid or 3 total?
So any unpaid, by the time you have to renew your license.
Yeah.
You have to pay them before you can renew your license.
Okay.
And then you get the flag fee too, so it's an additional $30. So 400 and some plus 30 is like
Yeah,
not cheap.
that's a
So-
bite, I understand that, but it has to mean something to people if it's gonna work.
Most people want to be able to drive their car, so that boot on the car when they come out usually makes them run and pay it really quickly. All right, thank you.
We had factored extra time, unfortunately for Mary Washington, who is not here. So that's it, that's what we got.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Roberto Burris from DPW liaison.
You can come up here if you want.
So, if you have any problems with trash, water bills, some of your information, I'll do what I can do to help you guys.
Thank you, Roberto.
Hi, I'm Robin. I don't usually come to the meetings with Nick, but I came today because I was excited to see the new center here, but is that the only way up?
There's a ramp on the back of the building that comes in through there, but there is no elevator to the second floor. So it's either those stairs or the ramp around the back of the building.
Right, so that should be, that's, you know, to me, that's a big issue for accessibility. So it should be noted somehow in the minutes or someplace.
Yeah. Well, this is our first time back. We have actually, in the past, usually used the downstairs space. I'll figure out how many people we have and figure out how many people fit downstairs. This is about normal attendance. Occasionally we'll have a few more people than this. We've had meetings where there are 45 people, but generally this is about what we get. And I think if it fits downstairs, I think it's better to have it downstairs, in part for exactly what you've noted.
I will say, I got here first, and the gentleman who works here that I talked to said he was going to give us this room for the meeting, so it's totally possible to change it. It's just, I think.
Yeah, and I don't mean.
Yeah, no, please.
No, it's.
That's a totally valid complaint,
yes.
like, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Several of the board members who got here early we were already talking about it as a concern, so thanks for, I'm putting it in the notes right now.
All right. Well, just remember next year, but we will be having a potluck. It'll be an abbreviated agenda. We'll be voting on the 2 bylaws, and we will be eating, and it'll be lots of good food every year. In conjunction with Able? Yeah, Able. Last time they also invited Waverly, I thought, but better Waverly. But it's at least going to be Harwood and Able, and it's always a good time. It's a good chance to meet folks from this side of. So I live on Whitridge, and one of the women up the street from me, we're on the south side. She said she used to refer to the people on the north side of the street when she was a kid growing up there as up in the county. So this will be our chance to make some friends with some folks up in the county here. Yeah, and that's it. That's what we got.
This is obviously going to be like super informal for the rest of the night, so if anyone has any remaining questions that's online, just put them in the chat and I'll try to get to whichever person you want to talk to. Just let me know. Thanks.
Cleared out the alley. Looks clear.
So you're driving
I'm older than you. Hi. No, it's okay. My first meeting. Oh, at the meeting. I put it online, but it didn't let me online.
As soon as I get a chance, I'm going to talk. Thank you. I'm like, oh, hey, I don't advertise that. What's your address?
412 East Florida. And it probably says Kyle. Yeah, I'll see you next month.
I don't know who I'm going to touch with. I obviously. Corey. Yeah, Corey Lester. There are, like, kid told somebody, sort of got around and I reached out. It's all those people.
Okay, cool. I'll check with them. I haven't met Corey.
Yeah, I think they're replacing them.
Oh, is that what
And so that was, we've got these players. Does anybody want the board time to choose the lawyer for us?
Okay, cool. And I also want to get back involved with the
I think they're, yeah, I think I had a feeling. I would have, yeah, great little break that. Didn't feel like I asked. I saw the design, honestly,
I was also thinking that they mentioned chessboard that the place is a bunch of
They're good.
Your mother okay, I was looking at it, I was like, I good name. Yeah. She's lovely. I
parking people there. Three times, they can get
yeah, I was so happy to meet her because I've been in contact with Dave and also because just got her good, but it's like a multi-step process. And now we can find grants. So yeah, we'll make that happen.
This is very exciting.
I don't know, ask, they help you with the Bowen.
I'm just so excited about this time. Hey, awesome. You too.
I appreciate you pushing.
I kept meaning to message you. They didn't even tell us. I finally followed up. I was like, hey, oh yeah, we forgot. And then they pasted the sorry, no grant for your language. No cost.
Forget for everyone or just
Ask Jeff, because Jeff applied for him as well.
it's terrible. But that's good.
Well, then, get some meeting face to face, which is great. And yeah, we'll,
I'm very excited to say that my boss had the wonderful idea of like. I'm very excited because I got an email today that I project was doing free getaway on the 18th. It's like a very, very wonderful process. I have to know about it. But this is wonderful.
Yes.
It's not even just like, you know, you have to fix the concrete when your house is like, that's not It used to be just one person, now I think it's happening on. Very
Contact 311 and that doesn't mean that they actually sent someone, that just means they sent the notification that they got. But if you make under 1 hour, I answered it's actually.
I feel like people leave those launchers up there for 3 months. They're like 2 inches of snow in December. It's like, I run the launcher out, I sell this
We have some, we did it last year.
Preferably, yeah, okay. Hey guys, can we get the tables back real quick?
But yeah.